Welcome to the Mr. Fantasy Freak podcast show, Philadelphia style, volume 3. I'm Alex Weisner. Today, here once again with Jackson Wright. Jackson, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Fresh off the first bye week of the season for us from the podcast. I had a little vocal cord issue, but it's healed up. What are you been up to?
Well, it's always good to take time to heal your injuries. I've had about 627 fantasy football drafts. I actually had 2 earlier today, but we are back. I have another one tonight.
He's not exaggerating at all.
Not at all. I have no life. That's what I do. We're back. We're about to preview week 1 of the NFL season. And the Eagles go to Cleveland, take on the Browns. And you may think it's an easy game. It should be a no-doubt win. But Jackson, tell me why you think that the Eagles might be in for a little more than they bargained for.
Well, there's always that first time slot of games, noon here, 1 on the East Coast. There's always that upset that no one sees coming, and usually it's a home team over a big road favorite, which we'll get to later, but the Eagles are a big road favorite this week. There's always that one game, it seems like, each Sunday, the first time slot. These teams played each other week 3 of the preseason. They didn't show anything.
Vic didn't even play.
Yeah, everyone's healthy and ready to go, but still, I have a weird feeling about this one.
Yeah, and you brought up pre-show about week 2, the Ravens come to Philadelphia, so they could be looking ahead to that. I mean, it could be a trap game, and it'll be interesting. Looking over the past 10 seasons, the Eagles are 5-5 in openers and 3-3 on the road. And going against the Browns, you think Brandon Weeden, rookie quarterback, Trent Richardson, rookie running back, but they're a little bit more advanced in terms of just a regular rookie. Last season, the Browns were, what was it, second in passing yards allowed?
Yep, second in passing, 30 in rushing yards allowed, though.
Yeah, so if the Eagles stick to a ground game, they should be able to control the clock. And of course, in football, you can control the clock, you control the game, you control the scoreboard. But it will be interesting to see how that pans out. Should we get to our predictions now, or do you want to wait till later?
Let's wait till a little bit later.
That sounds good with me, because we do have a game, a little over-under game for you at the end of the show. But today, right now, we are going to talk a little bit about baseball. I know it's a down season, but 64-69. Tell me your thoughts on what to expect down the stretch.
Well, they're getting closer to 500. I didn't really see that coming. They're not completely laying over and dying, which is good to see. They could easily do that. Cliff Lee's been pretty solid over his last 3. Dominic Brown coming back from a knee injury. Everything's really coming back. Halliday's been all right. His last start wasn't that great, but he's been slowly making his way back to his old self. It's just good to see the young guys getting playing time, and I think they'll be developing down the stretch.
Yeah, and I did release my final pitcher rankings, fantasy baseball pitcher rankings on MrFantasyFreak.com. If you haven't been there, go there, check that out. I have the 3 Philadelphia Aces in my top 15. Halladay 13, Quickly 9, Cole Hamels 6. You think that's about right? A lot of people have Halladay in their top 10. I don't. What do you think about that?
See, I agree with you on that. I like the order you have them in. A lot of people would put Halladay, like you're saying, top 10. Maybe put him ahead of Cliff Lee even. I think this is the beginning of a decline for Halladay, which I think you listed in your article. I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, and it's not so much of his skill set in a decline. It's just, he reached, 2,600 career innings pitched milestone earlier this year.
It's Father Time.
Yeah, and it happens. He's still a good pitcher, but you can't expect him to stay healthy every single season. He's thrown how many seasons? 230 plus innings. So.
Seems like he's never hurt. He always makes every start. So yeah, that's a lot of innings.
Yeah, and it's tough to come back from that. But heading down the stretch, we've seen some good things. Hopefully the younger players can step it up, and we've said it once, we'll say it again, they're rebuilding. All right, let's get back to our little game here. Jackson, why don't you go ahead and cue up the Rocky music.
Here we go.
I love it. It's terrific right now. Over-under for week 1 of the NFL season. Play this game. Michael Vick, total yards. We're going to set it first at 250. Over-under 250 total yards for Vick.
Well, we mentioned before that the Browns were second in opposing passing yards last year.
Second best.
30th best, or
worst.
Second worst.
Yeah.
Third from the bottom.
Yeah.
And I think for a normal quarterback, that'd probably put him under 250, but for Vick, he's got the rushing element, so I'm going to go over 250 with passing and rushing combined.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. Now, let's try to set the bar a little bit higher. I mean, it is the Browns. It could be, like we said, trap game, but it is the Browns. Over under 300 yards.
Yeah, I'm going to go under 300, and I'll tell you why. I think there's going to be, towards the end of this game, a lot of turnaround, hand it to McCoy type of offense, so he's not going to rack up as many in the fourth quarter. So I think he'll stay under 300.
I would agree with that, and that's the perfect segue into my next question. Over under LeSean McCoy, 125 rushing yards, just rushing.
Well, we brought up the 30th overall in opponent rushing defense, and that's going to be a factor here. McCoy's probably one of the top 3 backs in the league.
Yeah, I've seen him go as high as number 1 overall.
So I would say over 125.
I would definitely agree with you on that. What about 140?
140, that's only 15 more. That's only one broken play away. That's tough. I think it's right around there. I'd say under. It's close.
I'm going to go over, and I think he gets maybe in the 170s, 180s. I think they're going to be able to run. They're going to move the ball. But I do have concerns with this game. We'll get to that a little bit with my prediction later on. I guess we'll get to it now with the margin of victory. Over, under, 9.5 points margin of victory. Do they win by double digits?
I debated over this for a long time because there's always that upset, and I just can't tell who it is. This has a weird feeling. I think they're going to go double-digit win, though. As long as Vic stays in the game the whole game, that offense is just too much for this Cleveland defense. Yeah,
and I like the Eagles defense to kind of hold them down, but I'm going to go under. And I'll explain that a little bit later, like I said, but I am going to go under. Philadelphia defensive turnovers. How many times does Cleveland turn the ball over to that Eagle D? We're going to set it at 2.5. What's your over-under?
We mentioned earlier Brandon Weeden, rookie quarterback. Trent Richardson, rookie running back. There's just rookie quarterbacks always seem to have at least a couple picks in their first game, so I'm going to have to go over 2.5 turnovers.
I'm having a tough time with this one.
I'd say 2 picks and a fumble. That's what I'm going to say.
And I could see that, but I have some concerns with play calling, and I think that they're going to be a little bit on the safe side. Mike Holmgren kind of doing his thing. He's a smarter guy. I'm going to take the under. I like the Eagle defense. I think they maybe get a pick, but 3 is hard for me to see. But who knows how it's going to turn out. The Eagles could just blow them out of the water and just have their way. One last little over-under game here for you. Our favorite, Michael Vick's broken ribs for the game. Over/under 0.5.
That's a tough one too. Man, I'm gonna say, it's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna say over, but he stays in the game. Doesn't find out till later that the rib's broken. Winces the whole game. Still puts up over 250 yards, and then finds out later he had a broken rib the whole game. That's my prediction. So over 0.5.
Yeah, I'm going to take the over too. I think he's set for a beatdown. What is it? Frosty Rucker. I think that's his name.
Frosty Rucker. That's my new favorite player.
Keep an eye on him. If Vic isn't careful, he could be crushed. So we're both taking the over. But he comes back week 2?
Oh yeah, he comes back week 2, of course. He'll have one of those weird bodysuit things on that he wears, and he'll be back for week 2, and we'll set the over under 0.5 again.
Yeah, we will for sure. Now let's get to the prediction time. We only have about a minute and a half left. What is your prediction on this game, the opener?
I would say Eagles are going to win 31-17. 14-point win.
Yeah, I feel that. I like that. But everyone that listens to this is probably going to hate me, but I'm going to pick the Browns, and I'll tell you why.
Straight up? Browns straight up.
The Browns, they win, last-second field goal. This is how they do it. Trent Richardson. Game is going to be 24-21. Richardson is going to coming out party for him. Weeden is just going to be safe, normal little side passes. But
Alex Smith style?
Yeah, definitely. And I think if that's how they base their team, they have a chance to do some damage. I like Richardson, especially in fantasy football this year. I know you do too, but I just want to throw that in there. MrFantasyFreak.com. You can go there, check out our archives, our writing, everything. That's your place to go for fantasy sports. And stick to CandymanSports.com for all your Philadelphia information, trends, facts, all that stuff is on this website. Thanks for having us. Thanks for listening. And Jackson.
Over and out.